Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the Underground Runaround Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Ross. This is episode 33. We're back again with my co-host, Pav Daddy, and our big-time, big-shot, step-in-the-box, hobby newsman, Brett Comensoli. What's up, brother? How are you?
Awesome. You guys?
Doing great.
Good, man. Good. Glad to be back. We were having such a good conversation. So for anyone who doesn't know, since we started doing the show live, we hop in here in this thing and we start talking. We've been talking for 40 minutes now. So I said we need to just get the show started because we're having such good conversations. You guys missed out on a lot of it, so maybe we'll touch back on it. We were just having good old-fashioned hobby conversations. We were having a good time. So does anybody remember anywhere near where we were before we jumped in here?
I mean, we were talking fanatics, we're talking grading,
Yeah.
we're talking
Grading, yep.
eBay sales.
eBay sales, yeah.
What?
So let's just jump in there, I guess. So I started, I guess this is my show, so I can plug my own stuff. But we started doing consignment in the last, 2 months. We did about a month private with a few clients, and then we opened it up public, and it's been going well so far. But we use eBay a lot. Like, that's exclusively how we do it. And we only do it one way. Like, it's a 99-cent auction. And some people have, they've said they're going to send things and then they haven't, and I assume that scares them off. But my viewpoint, and everyone's going to have a different viewpoint. My viewpoint is time is money. And depending on how much free time you have, if you have the time to constantly research the price and set your price where you want to set it so you can field offers and negotiate and go back and forth and haggle and over, I would generally think most people price their card 1.5 times what they're willing to take for it because eBay has that auto reject at the half of whatever it is when you agree to take offers. So I feel like eBay has trained people to think that if your card's $100, I'll post it for $150, and then when I get that $100 offer, I'll take it. I think that's how people work on the buy it now spectrum. And if you have the time to do that, that's great. Personally, I don't. So I'm not going to do that with clients either because I want them to get paid. So if you're a person that works like I did before I got in the hobby, 60, 70, 80, 100 hours a week, and you collect cards, when the hell do you have time to sell them? And I'm not. There's a lot of other good consignment companies. I'm not doing anything groundbreaking or revolutionary here. There's, I'm fucking nobody. But if you don't have the time to sell it, get your stuff to me. In 7 days, 7 to 10 days, something like that, you should be getting paid. We might not know what exactly your card's going to get. It might not get 100% of what you think because we can dig into that too later about eBay comps just in general. You might not get what you think, so you might not get your expectations, but your card's going to get sold, and 90 to 95% of the time it's going to get paid for. So if it doesn't get paid for, we'll just repeat the cycle. But the whole non-pay scammer eBay thing it's not as scary as people make it sound. People get one bad experience that don't have a lot of experience doing something, and then they scream it from the mountaintops, and then everybody else in turn gets afraid of it. But it's not that bad. I mean, it's still 90-95%. Most people pay great. Some people are weird and out there, no doubt, and you get a lot of messages, silly messages, but it's fun. I like it way more than grading. We were talking about that too. Oh my goodness, grading is not my cup of tea. So the people that doing group grading submissions and that are doing it thorough and properly and not taking advantage of your customer base, shout out to Mark's Cards. Shout out to those
Some
losers.
of those customers are getting their cards back now. I saw that the other day.
They should. That's great. They should. It's not their fault they got screwed. The problem is they're just too dumb to pay up front. Don't pay up front. Dude, grade the shit yourself. It's so easy to do. It's just like how people are afraid to sell on eBay because all the bad rap. Dude, send the shit in yourself. It's not hard. If you have a cardboard box and you know how to put tape on the cardboard box, I'm telling you, you could send your own cards in. But that's neither here nor there. But if you have a quality grading group submitter and you do everything right, just big respect to you. That's not for me. I did it for a while, like a year, and oh my goodness, I didn't like all the paperwork involved.
It's a pain in the ass.
And then the worst part is actually getting people to pay. Because I was the opposite side of the asshole spectrum. I told people they didn't have to pay me until I got charged. Said once they hit me with the charges, then I'll let you know. Hey, and I didn't mean right that day. Like whenever you get your next paycheck or whatever, if that's how it is, like you knew this was coming, it's time to pay up. Like I don't feel bad about that, but having to track people down and tell them to pay up multiple times, internet loan sharking, I guess. Like not loan sharking, but like trying to track them down. Like what are you gonna do?
Your collections, man. At that point.
It's ridiculous. I'm staring at a pile of slabs that have never been paid for. I don't know what to do with them. Because I think I'm just too nice of a guy. I probably should have sold them already.
Probably should have sold them. Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, now the fucking values went down.
Well, the worst part is that these cards are fucking dog shit anyway. They're not worth anything. Like they might sell. See, doing this consignment stuff. I couldn't tell you how many slabs that I've seen sell for 99 cents. And like it's just that's what it is, dude. Like some of this shit never should have been graded. And I don't even want to post it, but it's like it's graded, let's throw it up there, see what it does. But I tell the guy, like, listen, nowhere ever, just not one time ever did anyone say grade a fucking Chicago Cubs team card from 2019. Topps baseball. Nobody said, or like the stadium card. Nobody ever said do that. Like, ooh, that's such a specific demographic to find anyone who's gonna like that, and then to pay money on top of it. You're just nuts. And then at $30 a card or whatever the person was paying to grade it, like the group submitter was just fucking this client of mine, just absolutely bending him over and just having their way with them, just telling them to grade everything. I have a box of just reject stuff that I refuse to even post it. I'm like, listen, client, there's no way. This stuff isn't going to sell. I would never buy it. Like, it's like fucking 20 second year, what were they? Luis Robert cards. Like just base cards. Like paper base, not even chrome. I'm like, who said this was going to ever be $30 card? Who? Nobody said this, ever. Not only that, it's got to be 30 plus. It costs you $30 to grade this card, or that's what he was charged to have it. I'm like, dude. Then whatever it costs you to acquire the card in the first place. And don't get me wrong, he had some great stuff, but the ratio is really bad. Like, he just trusted a guy to advise him on what to get graded, and that guy was going, yeah, give me all your money. That's basically what he's doing. Like, holy shit, man. I'm like I'm so conservative. I'm like, I probably wouldn't grade that. Like, it's not gonna triple my money to grade it. Fuck it. I don't know. It's just crazy. You see some of these things, and it's like, man, the hobby's kind of depressing sometimes. It's just how shitty people are to each other because they can get away with it. They're on the internet. They don't have to face any real consequences. They can just disappear. I don't know, but this guy. Oh, I mean, you just have to be smart. If you get anything out of this, friends listening to this awesome podcast, is just be smart. If you're uncertain of who you're talking to or who you're dealing with, just don't do it. Better safe than sorry. I mean, it's really that, because you will be sorry. Like, there's too many bad apples. You'd say it's a few, but there's just too many, because it could be the same people for all we know, because we don't know who they are. They just make new profiles. Ta-da! Here we are. What can I get you with? What was it? There was a Mickey Mantle picture. Was like the most recent one I was seeing. A profile will show up in all these groups and post the same fucking thing, and they're so stupid. Like, they'll post a Mickey Mantle autograph picture for half of what a Mickey Mantle autograph picture is supposed to cost. And then some guy will see it from another group and go, hey, you're the same dude that sold it in that room. And then all of a sudden, like, that profile no longer exists. Like, oh, yeah, he must have got that money.
Got paid by a few people.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: since you've started consigning, how awesome is it having your phone blow up with eBay bids nonstop? Is that not fun?
It's not.
I actually that's
It-
one thing I miss about selling on eBay is because I used to do the same thing. I love doing 99-cent auctions, just let them go,
Yeah.
and to let the bids just keep coming in during the week. Wake up in the morning, you're like, oh dang, I got that was the fun part of it.
I would say I like seeing more in the morning than at night. Like I like to wake up and see like, oh, what happened. But I think that's just because all I do is grind. So like when I wake up, it's like I hit the floor running. Like so not every day. I mean, there's days where I don't want to do shit, and it's mostly because of like how hard it is now. Like it's a grind to sell breaks now, and I understand it. Like everything costs too much money, in my opinion. And you got to play keeping up with the other businesses. You got to play keeping up with the Joneses. So it's you know, it is what it is. But I wake up with my feet running. I'm ready to go. Like yeah, let's go. So I like to wake up and scroll through the phone, and eBay's usually like towards the bottom of my notifications. So then I get to see like this morning. I was surprised we have some really nice stuff up that's ending Saturday. Steph Curry auto, a dual Yastrzemski Ortiz autograph. There's some really cool stuff. There's about 5 to 10, like, you know, multiple $100 cards. Just cool stuff. Another Steph Curry, a Josh Giddey, super short print. Oh, I feel like we're missing one here. Oh, yeah, the Julio Rodriguez Series 2 auto, number to 199. That's a big card. It's already at $350 with 58 watchers. That's
Wow.
going to be a big one. Yeah. But yeah, like, at the end, though, I don't like it. I just don't.
Have you been selling on eBay? You busting out on eBay?
Flipper Pav?
I sell. Yeah, I got a few things I've been selling. I really though I do all buy it now, make the best offer,
Yeah. You have the time to do it, though.
and
It's fantastic.
like I've been selling goofy shit. Like I sold a Walkman on there.
What'd you pay
yeah,
for? Hey,
baby.
time out. What'd you pay for the Walkman?
So this was Jen's Walkman that she bought because we were kind of having like a little competition. We went to the estate sale, like on the street over, and like I sold some old crayons. I sold an old Leatherman. Like I bought the crayons for $1 a box. I sold them for $20 each.
You hear that? Hang on, time out. Time to fuck out. Time out. Put the fucking whole show on pause. I don't want to hear not one person that would ever watch, listen, follow, subscribe, any of that shit to this podcast. I don't want to see not one of you say a fucking thing about Flipper Pav Daddy over there flipping a Walkman and a box of crayons when he just made 20 to 1 on it. On a box of crayons. Are you kidding me?
I bought a Leatherman for $4, sold it for $40.
That's fucking
Like
Flipper
the
Pav.
same day that I bought the shit. So I like.
I knew you sold that Leatherman. That's what I remember you telling me that.
So
That's
like,
ridiculous. I told my wife that, and she just shook her head. I'm like, it's Flipper Pav. What are we talking shit for? Like, he's got it going on.
So Jen bought some shit. I will be honest. She bought her stuff, but I didn't list it for her right away.
Sure.
Like she wanted to fucking do her thing for a minute, but I listed it. So for $5, she got 2 Walkmans. One of them was like the sports model, the yellow one with the fucking strap, and it had the headphones and everything still. So, and then she bought a bunch of magnets, like some Disney magnets and some Hanna-Barbera ones. And then there was like this weird one she bought. It was from the 1970s called Freaky's Cereal, which is something like I'm not familiar with at all. But it came out of the Freaky Cereal. And it so I sold the Walkman for $50. She had $5 in all this stuff. She sold the Walkman for $50, and then I just sold the magnet, the Freaky Cereal magnet for $20. So her $5 is $70 so far. And like I bought some shit that I ended up just throwing. So when I'm buying this kind of stuff, I try to, mitigate how much I'm spending versus what I think the stuff is actually worth. And uh, I don't try to spend very much, but like I sold, I some shit. If it's fucking junk, I just throw it away. Don't keep shit. Don't hoard shit, man. Get rid of that shit. Get the fuck out of your life. You don't need some stupid shit you bought at a garage sale.
Yeah.
Just hang on to because you fucking lost on it. You lost $1, throw the shit away. But like, I've told you stories like I did. There are things that eBay is really great for, but I'm not sure Brett knows, but I bought these skateboards before, Brett. At it was like citywide garage sales in the next town over, and like this lady was fucking bickering with me about how much a Commodore 64. You remember the Commodore 64? Like it's a basically an old school computer that you plug into your TV. It's all built into the keyboard. So, we bickered over the price on that. And like I bought it for like $5 less than I could get it on eBay. So I wasn't flipping the fucking thing. I just wanted it to fuck around with. But she had these two old skateboards that were like underneath the table. You could barely see them. They were just the boards, the wheels, all the hardware was taken off, just boards, but they were like old school, nice boards. They're Vision brand, and like I have pretty good memory in terms of I saw Vision on it, and it's like that means something to me with skateboards for some reason. So I have to buy the fucking boards, right? Just because this clicks, this name on here clicks. So I gotta buy them. So I paid like $2 each for these fucking skateboards. And I sold one for 180 and the other for like $260.
Wow, that's huge.
And the lady was fucking fighting me over Commodore. People don't know, but
No,
like the one
there's
skateboard, it ended up being a guy that like he murdered some chick and stuff. He was a professional skateboarder that went fucking psycho and crazy shit.
Yeah. All right.
It becomes a collectible,
I tell you what, if
All the skateboard itself was a skateboard of some nut job dude. I get it. Okay. Did you know that when you bought it?
No, no, I just knew the Vision brand. He was signed by the major skateboard company of the day,
Gotcha.
anybody who's complaining, I know this. If I was going to quit my job, or anybody who out there who complains about their boss or working, if I quit my job, I would go do just that. I watch like Chase After the Right Price, Cincinnati Picker, Phoenix Resale. Lots of these resellers, there's deals to be made. And eBay, I mean, you could turn 5 into 20. They're out there. You just got to put in the work, just like everything else.
You know what?
eBay's amazing.
I think people. I actually really love eBay too, and I'll tell you what I think, and nobody else has to think like this. And I also want to acknowledge that there's 5 people watching live right now, is what my number says. Thank you guys. Don't hesitate to join in the conversation. We can read the comments if you guys talk. I know Griffin's always about it. Griffin's always telling us, but yeah, man, I love eBay. But I think people's biggest hesitation with eBay is that shipping is like a whole nother system you need to learn, and you need to have the materials for, and you should never pay for postage at the post office. Like, you should just never do it, because then you're going to think shipping is just this monstrosity of an expense, and it really is. I think I was just looking at my books earlier today. I think shipping for my business is like 3%. So it's not a killer, but it's expensive. I don't know what it should be. Pav's looking at me sideways.
Dude, I wish mine was 3%.
Yeah. Yeah,
My
yours.
shipping's fucking. I'm spending over.
Well,
10,000.
you have to pay. Yeah, right. You got to pay to get your product.
No, I'm talking shipping to customers. I'm paying.
Big boxes.
Yeah, but
It's fucking crazy expensive right now. FedEx, UPS,
oh,
everything.
right.
It's all up like crazy. They're
I thought you were talking about getting containers.
no, like shipping, domestic shipping is insane right now.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
fucking crazy.
it's going to continue to go up too.
I got tickets to the fucking Colts game because we're spending so much on FedEx.
That's hilarious.
That is awesome.
But like,
That's hilarious.
you have to break the $10,000 a month threshold to get a customer rep.
Sure.
Like we broke that this year, so like now I got this FedEx customer rep that comes from Lafayette, and like she's like, "Hey, you want tickets to the Colts game?" And it's like, "Who are they playing? The Buccaneers?" Oh yeah, I'll go.
Yeah.
But
Did
like,
you guys-
I heard it's really nice. So
Did you guys see the Tom Brady come back the first day and he was like he's flipping somebody off and then he's giving the big, oh, dude, I got to find that clip and send it to you guys. It's hilarious.
That is funny.
Dude, you know, the one thing about like Tom Brady and fucking Aaron Rodgers, they don't give a fuck.
No.
Like those two guys understand how good they are.
Yeah.
Like they know how fucking good they are. It's like, yeah, fuck you, dude. I don't care what the fuck you're talking about. You know, you don't want to pay me, somebody else will. It doesn't fucking matter what the hell you think. Like, it's pretty wild, those two guys.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Brady couldn't couldn't even, how long was he even retired for? It wasn't very long.
Not long.
And then all I remember is the guy who bought the football, Tom Brady's last football. What did he spend, like $100,000 for it or something?
Brutal.
It was ridiculous. 50 grand.
500.
Oh my gosh, you're right. It was 500.
Yeah, but then Brady said he'd buy it.
Right.
Dude, that's pretty wild. But like, I think too with Brady, if you look at his contract shit, he's got, him coming back was basically those teams agreeing to do whatever the fuck Tom Brady wants in terms of,
yeah,
I'm not going to show up on these days. I'm going to go hang out with my family on these days. If you want me to play for your team, this is how it's got to be because my wife's bitching at me about spending time with the kids. And like really, dude, did you read all that shit about? That was the thing. It was like his wife was bitching at him about spending time with the kids. So he got all this stuff in his contract that says he doesn't have to be here on these days and all this stuff. That's pretty wild.
I mean, I don't know. I have a family. I get it, but like, that's part of the job. You got to be here for the team.
Well,
you know what I mean?
You don't make as much money as he does.
I agree. I agree. So
he's got the luxury of saying, "Hey, I don't need to fucking work the rest of my life. My wife makes way more fucking money." Like, I don't know. It's just funny,
right? No, I don't know. If he starts to struggle, like he did a few years ago when people said he was done, and then he's been fine since he got out of New England and warmed his old bones up. But if he starts struggling, that won't even be a story unless he starts to struggle. So nobody's even gonna say anything. Then the media will spin that bullshit on him though. If the Buccaneers are fucking 4-5 and Tom's thrown a few interceptions, they'll be like, oh, maybe he's he needs to be more focused on the game. Blah blah blah. You know how they do their shit. Media.
Kyler Murray. Oh, whoops.
Hey, speaking of focus on the game, did you see Yadier Molina?
Oh, no focus on the game.
He took the weekend off to go down and he owns some basketball team in Puerto Rico. He's getting some heat for that.
Is that confirmed that he went there?
Yeah.
Okay, because
there's an article.
I read the
ESPN.
article that night, and I don't remember who it was, but I read it on Twitter, and all it said was that that team had won, and they weren't sure if he was even in attendance. So I wasn't sure, but I mean, whatever.
Hey man, they say he gets a pass, but he's been bad. He's not very good.
I haven't even looked because I don't care because I can't stand the guy. I don't.
Yeah, he's a
Dude,
douche, but
he was
he's
definitely there because his like he said, it was a business trip. I had to be there for the team in the city. The Cardinals understood the situation. We have a great relationship.
I mean, he's only
Which,
hit 214.
yeah, it's not gonna fucking hurt not having him there.
Right. Knizner's hitting better than him anyway. And they only have 2 catchers on the roster. I'm sure they just called up some young kid, but it doesn't matter.
yeah,
Oh, hang on, we got a question.
easy division to take.
Oh, I can't pay for this. Sorry, I'm wasting your time. At least that guy was
eBay?
honest. Yeah. At least that guy was honest.
He won.
This is like from an old card.
My son got a hold of my account and bid on this card. He didn't mean to win it.
I get that all the time. Yeah.
My wife is busting my balls, and I'm spending too much money on sports cards. I can't buy this. What are some of the other good? We should make a T-shirt. eBay excuses for sales.
My kid. It's always my kid. My kid bid on this. What do you mean?
Yeah.
That's the nice thing of the buy it now is that I don't have to deal with that. I had 2 fucking auctions. 2. Like I sold a bunch of shit.
Well, hey, hang on. Before you even say what you're gonna say,
1 unpaid.
there's a setting that there's settings to help alleviate that bullshit. It's you can set like a minimum feedback required to bid.
Yeah, true.
You can also block people that have had 2 non-payments in the last 12 months
Oh, I
from
didn't
being
know
able
that.
to bid on it. Yeah, no, most people don't. So listen the fuck up. Audio people, we're at 27 minutes. You can hop over here to the tube and look at me because I got something really important to tell you. You're going to have to Google it, and you're going to have to find it on your own. But I'm telling you, there is an option, a feature, and it's actually in the same screen where you can go to block someone on eBay. So I've been posting, since I started doing consignment, I've been posting weekly block lists, basically. Non-payment people. Like, hey, here's who fucked around and found out this week. So we won't have to deal with them again. There is a feature where it is able to block anyone with... You can change the settings, but the most stringent setting you can put is 2 non-payments over the period of the last 12 months. So that'll give you your biggest umbrella of eBay shitbags to block yourself from. And you can do that, and it will significantly cut down on those issues, because if you're getting plagued by those issues, you got to help yourself out. So help yourself out, because it's there and not everybody knows about it. I've had card shop owners not know about this, and that's not even a lie. I had someone mentioned it. You know, it came up in a thread, and then it's like, boom, where is it? I went and Googled it up, sent the link over there. Now they're getting stuff paid for. So
I had no clue. I had not heard that.
if you do auctions,
So
let's see. Go ahead, keep talking. I'm just not looking at you.
Why is it that eBay can't come up with a setting that they have your payment info? Why can't they just come up with a setting when, just like a buy it now, you buy it now,
I agree 100%.
You must pay instantly. Why is it when the minute the auction ends that person's charged for that? And
I
then,
agree 100% now, because they handle the money, and they didn't used to do that when it was PayPal.
Exactly.
So no, I agree. They should 100%. As soon as you win the fucking auction, they should take your money. Or after, I would even be okay with it being after that 3-day grace period. Like, hey.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I like that feature with the buy it now that you can put immediate payment.
Yep, no, I agree. But no, there's no excuse for them not to. Literally, they just don't want to deal with all the backlash from the people going, my fucking kid did this.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They have to hire more people to handle all of that. So,
it's crazy.
So yeah, you can go. So I always go to this. They have this new seller hub on eBay from the desktop. It's actually fantastic. I really like it. It's I don't fully know how to navigate it to the best of its ability, I'm sure, but it's very clean looking. It's all like in little rectangles, all the different categories, and it has all the sub options within those categories. It's very easy to get around, and you can find things that you're looking for. So yeah, here we go. Shortcuts. It's in my shortcuts. So you can go to your seller hub on the overview tab. So it's the default tab. You come down here to block bidders, or I have a block bidders. It's called the buyer exemption list. And you can create exemptions for buyers. You can still block them and give them an exemption. But below that, it's what's called buyer requirements. And you can change it to buyers who have caused X amount of cancellations of unpaid purchases within a set amount of time. So the most stringent you can do is 2 cancellations in a 12-month period. The most relaxed you could do is 5 cancellations in a 1-month period. And then you can also block buyers whose primary shipping address is a location I don't ship to. So, like, if you don't ship internationally, you don't even have to let international people buy it and ask you to ship somewhere else, because I've gotten that before. Like, hey, on eBay, in my opinion, you should never ship anything to anyone or to anywhere other than the address on that eBay account. There's no reason. You're only asking for trouble. And then the other option is block buyers who are currently winning or have bought one of my items in the last 10 days. If you want to, like, limit, I don't understand that one. You know, if you have such a high demand, I guess, where you want to, like, let your customers only buy one of your goods, then maybe. And then the last one is, you can set it to block. I'm sorry, it says only set this requirement to block buyers with a feedback score of, and you can set it to 5 or less.
That's cool, man. I would love to see you, like, you have the skills to do this. The tech skills is to do like a short 5-minute YouTube video with the
You're right.
screenshots of this. I would
And
I would love to watch that. Like, I understand what you're saying here, but I think that would actually get searched out and you could share that in the group. People would could use that, because I had, seriously, until you said that now, I had no clue, man. No clue. Did you know that, Pav?
Yeah, I did.
I
just don't do a lot of the auctions, but yeah, there's a few nice settings in there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's some nice settings. Because, like, that guy who just messaged and said they're not going to pay, they have 0 feedback. So, like, if you have 0 feedback, I have that set to, like, you have to have at least 1 feedback to bid on anything from me. So that sucks, you know, like, if you are, like, a legitimately brand new account, but just go buy something and get a feedback. Show that you're a real thing. Because that is a lot of your non-payments are 0 feedback people.
One of the other things I avoided when I was on there, when I start getting weird messages from people about stuff, I just say, don't bid on my stuff, dude. Please don't. It's one thing to ask certain, but when they start, like, getting high maintenance and, like, don't bid on this.
Right.
Please.
No, absolutely. I agree. I won't even answer those questions a lot of time for that exact reason. I don't even want them to. I don't even want to do any follow-ups. I don't want to do anything like that. We're all pre-boom hobby guys.
I just had this conversation with a friend of mine that's in the retail business, and, like, I was talking about how there are certain customers, like when you're doing customer support and stuff, and they because I have the luxury of having this ability. Obviously, sometimes you can't do this stuff, but when they start in on me and they're cussing and screaming or whatever, and I'm trying to help them and they won't listen. It's like, look, man, you know what to do. Send me the unit back and I'll give you your money back. And they're like, well, no, you don't. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I don't want you as a customer. So I think the best thing to do is just send me the unit back and I'll send you your money back. Full refund, no questions asked. You know, just don't beat it with a sledgehammer or whatever.
Right.
Send it back to me, and we'll not talk to each other again. And usually they'll get, well, no. It's like, look, dude, just a minute ago you were telling me to go, you know, do a whole bunch of dirty stuff. You know,
I think people are just too comfortable with, like, getting rude with people, and then when they hear someone respond like that, they're like, wait, this person must believe in themselves or believe in what they're doing or believe in what they're trying to provide to me, that they're so stern with me right now. I want to know why. And then usually when you get them to listen or change their tone, they do whatever you advise or suggest, and it generally fixes the issue, or you can at least discover the issue.
Yeah, and they think they're dealing with somebody from a different country, right? They're
But
calling.
they're or like or
It's
just like
dude, come on.
or like their fucking neighborhood fucking handyman come over and told them everything. And for those of you that don't know what listen at home, Pav is a tankless water heater business owner. So he sells water heaters through various outlets. EasyTankless.com. Go check it out. Pav apparently doesn't plug his show enough, but back to the poor handyman. So Pav does all the customer service for his own business and what have you.
It's funny that I got Kenny there, my one employee, who he's really nice, So there's certain people I can tell, them conversing with me is not going to go well. So I'll be like, look, what was your name? Your number? All right, I'll have Kenny call you, and I'll all this stuff. Because I just had one, and the guy started in on all this stuff, and I know it's a lot of bullshit. So it's like, okay, I don't even want to start with you, dude, because I know you're gonna argue with me, and I know you're wrong, so it's not gonna go well. But I had one. This is just recently. I had one where I had this woman called, and she was she was on the phone with her husband, who was at a different location from her, where they had a vacation home, and they had my water heater in their vacation home. So she's on the phone with her husband. Her husband's sitting there, and he's on the phone with whoever installed it, the installation company. And they start going through all this stuff. And I'm like, look, just tell me what kind of problems you're having, this and that. And I asked the guy, I was like, look, can you take some pictures and send them to me? And he's like, oh, I don't know if I could do that, because believe it or not, there are still quite a few people that don't know how to use their smartphone to its full potential, And so the wife is like, look, just send the pictures to me and I'll send them to him. So they send me all these pictures of the install so I can see everything. And I'm looking at it, and I see this propane regulator, and I'm like, look, I don't like this propane regulator. And I asked the guy that was from the company that installed it, and he was like, here's the regulator model. And I looked it up. I'm like, look, I don't like the regulator. I don't think it's working because the regulator is sending too high of a pressure to the unit. So its safety precautions aren't allowing it to run. And the guy from the company that installed it is like, look, this is the regulator we use on all the units we install. And my installer has 20 years experience and he starts going at me about this. I'm like, look, dude, I am trying to help this customer with their heater. And either you're going to help them or you're not. Because I told him, I was like, dude, can you go there and measure the pressure at the water heater? And he wanted to refuse to help. It's like, look, I'm just trying to help these people. If you don't want to fucking help them, then I'm going to tell them to fucking sue you so they can get their money back and have somebody else that'll help them install the heater, because you're not listening. So I went in on this guy. I started fucking screaming and yelling at him. And I'm like, look, dude, I only want you to go there and measure the gas pressure. Why are you fucking refusing to do that? Why can't you just go measure the pressure and tell me what the pressure is? So as soon as I got, because I was going pretty bad at this guy. So as soon as I got off the phone, I went over to Kenny. I'm like, hey, dude, write this lady an email and tell her that I'm sorry for the way I had to handle the phone call. Because that's what I thought. I'm like, just say the way I had to handle the phone call and all this shit. Just, I'm sorry for that, but I'm trying to help you, and I needed this guy to do this stuff. And if he's not interested in helping, then I don't know. But I am 100% certain that this is the problem. And so she emailed back and was like, no, I thank you for your advocacy. And then like a week later, she emailed back and was like, they came out, they replaced the regulator, and it works. You were right. And I was like, yeah, fucking shit, I was right. That's why that guy was pissed. And he was like, you can tell that from the picture? Yeah, motherfucker, I can tell it from the picture because I can see the regulator and I know it's fucking wrong. So what do you want from me, dude? I'm not a plumber, and I'm telling you, you're a fucking idiot. You know? And like people always ask to do fucked up shit. Or they ask me like some goofy shit about like, because whenever they call about something like that, they always have plumbing questions. They're like, look, I'm not a plumber. I can troubleshoot the hell out of my heater. I've worked with them for so long that I can tell you anything that's wrong with it. I can help you diagnose whatever's wrong with it, but I can't help you diagnose your plumbing issues because there's just too many things that I can't see. You know, and that's what I always tell them. It's like, I'm working blind here because I can only ask you questions, and I need you to just give me direct, straight answers. Don't fucking. That's always the hardest part with any of this kind of stuff. And that's, fucking people are. I don't know. People are pain in the ass. They love being fucking pain in the ass.
People are nuts these days too.
All that shit, dude.
Customer service pav. And not only that, but like how many businesses do you like actually call customer service and you like talk to the guy who actually fucking designed the product that they're talking about?
Instantly, you don't have to put any numbers. We just answer the phone.
That is the guy to talk about. Like that's the guy. He knows every screw that's in that thing. Like that's the guy.
We get pretty lucky because that's where what ends up happening is that's where a lot of our customer base comes from. It's like, I heard your customer service is top notch. And it's like, well, the biggest difference is that when you call, we answer the phone. Right, and obviously when it's not in our business hours, we're not 24 hour. We don't have that call center. But when we're there, you call and we'll help you. You're going to talk to someone that can help you. So that's the big thing.
So buy your water heaters from Easy Tankless. For all your water heater needs, Easy Tankless. With customer service that's unparalleled and second to none, but only available from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Go with Easy Tankless. Because they'll keep your shit hot. All right, what else? What else do we got?
I want to hear you go off on Pujols now.
Time out. Oh my god. Time out.
Let's go.
Hold the phone. Whoa. This is like an ambush. I just got ambushed on my own crusade here. How did this happen? I shouldn't say it's a crusade because a crusade technically means it's a religious thing, right? And that's not what I mean.
Are they just serving up free taters to this guy or what?
Oh, you're just getting straight to it. Oh, settle down. Settle down, Brett. Brett, you got to do some foreplay with this one, man.
I wish it was just straight taters, but something else is going on.
We don't get a story. We don't get a story like this very often, and I cannot explain what just happened last night. So, we all know Albert the Machine Pujols, right? Oh my gosh, this is happening right now live. There's a decent amount of viewers. I lost a ton of Twitter followers last night. A ton. I think I lost like 20 followers. All because I asked a question. So here's the difference. Here's the difference between Twitter and Facebook to me right now. I hate Facebook, but I posted this question, the same question. After Pujols hit that home run last night, that was up and away, and he pulled it for like his 6th home run in however many days. It's just it was the 2nd highest elevated pitch to be hit for a home run this year in all of baseball. for starters.
What was the first highest?
I do not know.
The first highest was a fucking pitch from Frank Schwindel, who's
my
first
gosh!
baseman.
So it was a slow pitch
to that Shogo Akiyama or whatever.
Okay.
And it was like
a slow
fucking
pitch. It was a fucking lob. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So that was the highest pitch.
So this was really the highest pitch thrown that got hit for a home run all year.
Highest legitimate pitch, yes.
And not only that, it was a fastball up and away.
And away.
And he pulls it. He pulls it. He Pujols it. At 42 years old, who hasn't even been a relevant baseball player since 2016. And in 2016, he was only relevant because people were trashing the fuck out of him for just ripping the Angels off and being worthless for his contract. And I think he's a great human being. I really do. He does the stuff for the children, and we've all seen the Down syndrome video clip. I don't want anybody to judge me because I have a daughter with Turner syndrome. So I am very fucking sincere when I say that. So don't get it confused. But he hasn't really been a respectable offensive player since 2014 or so. Maybe I will give you up to 2016 because I still think he hit around 250 then. But this is a guy for 12 to 14 years, the first 12 years of his career, was just an absolute horrific fucking nightmare to face at the plate. Maybe one of the best 10-year stretches of all-time baseball, I would assume. Without having that data in front of me to compile it, his best 10 years is as good or better than almost anyone's 10 years. With that being said, and this is the only reason it's suspicious to me. With that being said, this dude's horrifying. Just a terror. One of the greatest hitters of all time for 10 years that we've ever seen. The last 10 years have not been anything noteworthy at all. He hasn't had a month where he's slugged as well as he has this month since 2016. So it's not like it's been a year or two. It's been 6 years since he's done what he's doing now. And on top of that, up until today, because the Cubs and Cardinals are playing a doubleheader today, and I don't believe he's playing in the nightcap. And he did have another hit today, off the wall, I believe. I believe he singled off the wall. He hasn't had a 10-game stretch where his OPS, it's the highest it's ever been in any 10-game stretch of his career. This is his last 10 games at age 42. I'm sorry, but if that doesn't at least just make you fucking think, like if that doesn't at least let you have the conversation, and that's all I meant to do on Twitter was have the conversation, and I lost a ton of followers because of unreasonable homer fucking Cardinals fans. And most of my Cardinals fans that I know on Facebook are great human beings. Actually, I just donated some items to a cancer benefit down there to Missouri for some great human being Cardinal fans. For as much Cubs-Cardinal shit that there is, the human-to-human thing, it's not like Dodgers-Giants. It's not that type of rivalry where people can't even leave the stadium without getting their ass beat. But something is just it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. And all I asked was, I'm like, is it steroids? I don't think it's steroids. That's just the dumbest thing he could do. So I asked a question. I didn't make an accusation. So this guy on Twitter tells me I'm making an accusation by even making a tweet. And like I get that shit all the time because I tweet for my business account. I don't care. It's a valid hobby topic to talk about. Are we that fucking uncomfortable, or are we that big of assholes that we can't have this conversation? Like, and then like people are like, "Oh, well, that's an unfollow." Like, wait a second. So you disagree with me? That means we can't talk about why we disagree? I don't understand. I disagree with tons of people that I'm actually friends with. Like, my wife likes country music. I can't stand the fucking sound of country music. Do we hate each other? No, I have sex with her. Like, did you know you could...
Allegedly.
Like, allegedly. Oh my gosh, that's funny. But, I mean, it's just wild how quick some people are to just turn around and go the other way, or just get fucking attack you for not thinking the same way as them. That's crazy mentality shit. That's the stuff I'm afraid of for the future. That's got to stop. But anyway, all these Twitter followers, I lose them. Pujols, and all I'm doing is posting these stats that they keep pumping out. They're pumping them out to make it look like Pujols is the greatest guy of all time, and the problem is it's been so long since he's done anything of this type of production. Anything. It's been so long. He was hitting under 200 up until this month. He was hitting under 200, barely playing. The guy looks like terrible dog shit trying to run. And I don't mean this to take away from anything. I just think something's going on. I don't think it's steroids, but I asked the question, is it steroids? Is it Adderall? Because Adderall is literally a drug that will make the baseball look bigger. It will slow things down. It will put you in the zone. I tried it in college. So yes, it's performance enhancing. No doubt about it. 100%. The most. I would rather have that than a steroid. I would rather have an Adderall than like a strength advantage, because holy shit, I can't even explain it to you. It's nuts. It like slows down time, but it doesn't. It's just like you get a very clear image of it very quickly, and then you're allowed to do what you've been trained to do from there. And I said Adderall, steroids, which I don't think it's either. I don't think you would risk failing a test. I said, are they grooving him a pitch? And I'm not even saying the pitcher's in on it. I'm just anyone. Are people letting him know what's coming because they want to see it? Or is he just really in the zone? I just have such a hard time believing he's really in the zone at 42. Like this. He's never done this at any point in his career. And I started this whole thing with talking about he's literally, for 10 years, one of the greatest hitters of all time in a 10-year stretch. He never did that then, and he's doing it now, and he's 42.
I think the fix is in, man. I was watching last night.
That fucking pitch.
He took in the first inning, he put it off the wall.
Yep.
It was piped, and I'm like, I immediately sent a text to my buddy. Are they doing this on purpose to get him to 700 home runs? And then he hits that one out, and I'm like, holy crap. I feel like the fix is in. I need to put a bet down that he's going to hit 700 this year and put like a few $100 on. Now, seriously.
I think that's the bet. If you think something's up, then I don't think that's an unreasonable bet. I can't, you know what I mean? I'm not making an accusation. You know what I mean? That's all. I'm not doing that. I'm just having a conversation. I think something's up. If I were to guess, that's what. And here's the thing: I don't know, so you can't talk about it because there's a million ways you could tip a batter off to a pitch. It could, the Cardinals themselves could be cheating. Pujols might have a fucking buzzer on him whenever they know for sure the fucking dude's throwing a fastball.
You know what my other take is?
It could be anything. That's why you can't talk about it. But it's interesting, to say the least, that he's doing what he's doing right now. Absolutely. How do you explain it? You don't get better as you get older. You don't. And he hasn't shown any signs of even life in the last 5 years.
My take, at the All-Star game, I did watch the home run derby. They had the good old boy. You know, it was a fun night. They were pumping him up. All the players were having a good time.
And that was the thing, because before that, they were Machado and whoever were complaining that he wasn't getting a proper send-off.
I feel like those dudes maybe had a little powwow at the All-Star game. Hey, man, let's get this dude some home runs. Let's find a way to do it. That's just my take. Hot take.
They are a players' union, so that's not a hot take. And they're supposed to be a brotherhood, so that I would assume that they would part of most brotherhoods I'm aware of is you're supposed to stand up for your brother, right or wrong. So if you're doing something wrong, you guys should all band together and never speak of it. So just that's how that should go. Obviously, that in today's world, nobody stays 100% silent.
I mean, he's got 10 home runs and 86 at bats in July and August. He had 4 home runs leading up to that. And, you know, what is this, 90, 100 and some at bats? I mean, you can't just tell me this dude, the light switch just went on and he started hacking balls. I just don't believe it.
This is more egregious to me than whatever the fuck was going on with Matt Carpenter before he got hurt. because Matt Carpenter had at least been somewhat relevant in the last 5 years. Pujols has been below average for 5 years, 6 years. And I'm not trashing this guy. I am not. I'm just
I wish
simply
we could see
stating the
bat
facts.
speed numbers.
I'm just stating the facts to explain why I feel a certain type of way. That's all.
Like, I feel like his bat speed numbers. Look, I gotta get used to the camera being, but they're probably real high, right? And then like they gradually go down like this.
Sure, that's plausible.
And then this year,
oh, if they had
the
like
last month,
if they had data on bat speeds,
yeah.
All of a sudden he's got the fastest bat in the league.
How the fuck does he hit a 93-mile-an-hour fastball high and outside? Pulls it out of the park.
That's the thing.
Only stadium in MLB it would have went out of.
That's true. That's accurate, but that's a moot point. That doesn't, if he knows. I mean, oh man, if you know fast. Listen, if
Pujols.
Here's the thing, and I can. I don't know. This is maybe not the best example, but it might make some sense. I guarantee you, and I mean this. I guarantee you. I could still hit a 95-mile-an-hour fastball if I knew it was coming. I'm not saying I would hit it for a home run. I would probably eventually get one if you just sat there and fed me pitches. I don't know how long it would take, but I would probably get a hold of one eventually. But if you put me on a mound with a guy who can throw something other than that, and I don't know when and where, I'm going to look so stupid it's not even funny. Just absolutely like a fool. And I think that's the biggest misconception about when people say, when people try to say that hitting a baseball isn't the hardest thing to do in sports. It probably isn't. Hitting a baseball when you don't know what's being thrown to you is the hardest thing in sports without a fucking question in my mind. If you don't know what's coming, oh my gosh. You can cheat and get ahead and speed yourself up and anticipate that fastball, and then they throw anything other than a fastball. You're going to look like Javi Baez, baby. 0 for 5.
Hitting it off the ground.
5 Ks, baby. Let that shit bounce. We're playing cricket, baby. So what I'm saying is, if you know that a fastball's coming, old Albert could definitely still turn on it. 100%. At 42 years old, I'm 32 years old. And like I said, I haven't faced a real-life pitcher in 10 years. So none of this is, But after a 10-year layoff, I know I can still hit the velocity if I know it's coming. I still go swing at the batting cages every now and then just to... It's fun, When you know a fastball's coming, you see if you can still fucking crank one. But if you start throwing in fucking changeups, so that's kryptonite for me. Curveballs, sliders, you getting like good baseball, professional baseball, Major League Baseball, where they have the best curveballs and the best sliders and the best changeups, the nastiest shit you've never even imagined in your life. Balls are breaking 20 inches. Are you? They're breaking 20 inches in a matter of 60 feet. And it's not even that, because by the time you let go of the ball, it's nuts. It's nuts shit. It's so hard to do. It's the hardest thing on planet Earth to do. Hit something that you don't know is coming. I think at times he might know what's coming. Or he's completely become the absolute best guesser in baseball. He's become the best Javi Baez that has ever graced the earth. He has guessed right on every single guess.
One thing to guess fastball, it's another thing to guess high fastball, letter high.
And up and away.
I don't know.
And here's the kicker with that. Like, here's the thing, and this is the biggest reason I guess I would think that he knew at least a fastball was coming. I don't know how he would know this, but because Wilson set up, or whoever was PJ catching, but I think it was Wilson. He set up inside. In that pitch, you watch him. Where he set up, his glove goes straight over here. So, if they told him, "Hey, fastball in," maybe they did, and maybe he just I don't know. But for him to just fucking pull that ball, oh my god! Because Smiley misses a spot by a lot, but he throws a fastball.
It's interesting because, too, like, he's trying to hit a home run there, right? Like, you're trying, like, it's fucking, like, when you think about...
That pitch, on normal circumstances, I would assume the best outcome is a single to right field, if you swing at that pitch.
Like, Zobrist, in those series, knew they were pitching him high and outside. He goes with the pitch and hits it down the fucking left field line. That's goes
really all you can do to pull that ball.
And he knew it was coming, so, like, it's kind of funny that, like, fucking, I don't know. It's crazy, but whatever.
Yeah.
Let them celebrate. Let them have their fucking
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm not against it, but
birthday.
I would not be surprised if in 50 years we hear the story of fucking you know how Albert got to 700, right? Some
The funny thing is like the remember the Brewers? Remember when they were a baseball team?
them and the Padres, right? The Padres don't have the pitching, Pav.
Dude, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I know, no, both of those teams have been very interesting since they made the trade with each other. They've both been not very good.
Yeah, they both knew that their fucking closers sucked. And they're like, hey, maybe we'll get lucky.
Here's the thing: is that trade has really pissed off the Brewers team. Like the clubhouse is still pissed off about that trade because they say it makes no sense to them. So it like shows them that, you know what I mean. So they're still upset with it. That's gonna affect your performance.
I think Hader, obviously has something fucking wrong with him.
I don't know. I haven't been watching him. I just know he's been awful. They took him out of the closer's role.
Dude, the
Padres did.
The Brewers have used him like a nickel pony, and they keep feeding the nickels for all those years.
Oh,
they used him so much, man.
I mean, that's what you're there for.
But I would be pissed too if I was a Brewers player.
That's
why are you trading it?
I don't understand it about relievers. Is it like, and I don't know what it's like to pitch at the highest level, but is it really like that taxing to get up every day? Like they don't like to pitch relievers more than like 2 days in a row, and even then you don't see them pitch 2 days in a row very often unless you're the closer. But like, a solid reliever only pitches like 60 innings a year.
I wonder what they're gonna do. Haters, like, when you obviously fucking super small sample size, right? 5 games, 3 3.3 innings, but his strikeout rate went from 15.6 to 10.8. His walk rate went from 3.2 to 13.5. His home runs went from 1.9 to 2. His hits doubled. It's not looking good. It's not looking good.
Pav, what are they doing to Pujols? You avoided the whole topic.
What are they doing to Pujols?
Yeah, where do you stand on this subject?
I think he's on roids and Adderall. I think he's on both.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would he risk his legacy?
Because I think that there is definitely a lot of players that continue to use steroids.
Yep. No.
Right. They just keep switching to new drugs or whatever, new ways
ahead of the testing, right?
Right. So like for him, I mean, he's got to worry about it for what, fucking 3 or 4 months.
Right, but it's a huge risk though. If he fails one now, do they still let him in the Hall of Fame?
Maybe by the time he gets there, it's one of those things. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
It's crazy.
I don't know. Do you think it's tough because do you really think other players would agree to serve him up?
Yes, 100%. Most of today's baseball grew up watching him dominate. All these guys in the big leagues right now.
I don't know. Would you serve him up?
Absolutely.
You fucking bitch.
100%. No. But here's the thing. It's not like it's still an ego thing. It's just like spring training now, where I'm just working on my fastball. Well, Albert's up. I'm going to work on my fastball. That's an old guy. I want to work on my location. So here it is. But I mean,
I don't know. It's interesting. All of a sudden he's playing. Like he wasn't playing all fucking year.
That's everything about it is so fucking suspicious. It's like, what are they doing? What, because he doubled down on his I'm retiring? They're like, oh, now we really got to get him 700. But yeah, I mean, everybody wants to see him get 700. It's a good story. Every time he fucking is up to bat, the MLB's posting about him on social media. It's all for clicks and views and shit, man.
What are they giving the pitcher $20K for every home run they give up to him? Here's an extra $20K bonus.
I don't know
Serve
if
up a
it's,
tater.
I don't know if it's that deep. I would 100%. I would just say here's a fastball, dude. You still got to hit it out. You know, that's the other hat. I mean, he's hitting the home. I'm not saying the dude can't hit or any of that. He's actually hitting the home runs. He's doing that. I'm not debating that. But with how awful he's been lately, for him to all of a sudden start hitting in-game pitching this well, better than he ever has, ever in the history of his entire life, and he was so dominant. It's I don't know.
It's crazy.
It's fucking nuts, dude. It defies. Is there another example of that with any athlete in any sport ever? You know what I mean? Like, it is fucking crazy. That's why it's worth talking about. And I feel like I'm the only one talking about it. I see so many people dismiss it and shut it down. Like, I don't know. I would just show me any other athlete in history who, after being not good for 5 to 7 years and still hung in their respective league, all of a sudden, in the second half of their final season, started playing their best to the best of their ability ever.
So, what about the possibility that these guys aren't even serving it up? That's not steroids. It's not fucking Adderall.
It's possible.
But
I mean, anything is possible.
MLB is saying, hey, to the blue, hey, dude, when Albert gets up, use these baseballs. Here's your pouch of balls for when Albert's up to bat.
I don't know.
They're just sending them up there with fucking.
They changed all the baseball handling rules too this year. That's funny you say that.
I'm just saying, you know,
how they have to mud up the balls. They have to do it closer to the game now.
They just, hey, yeah, because at that point, you know, hey, dude, you just gotta make contact. Just don't.
It's like one of those automatic drivers in golf.
Oh man, funnier than that is they're throwing golf balls at them, right? So all you gotta do is keep the fucking ball fair.
Right.
Don't worry about it, dude. You keep it fair. It's going a long way.
Until he hits one 700 feet.
Super ball.
Like, what has he done? No, I don't. That's too elaborate. I don't think it's that deep. You know what I mean? If I think anything, I think it's the players just trying to.
They don't even need the 700 feet. That's the thing. Is like you can make the balls just slightly tighter wound, just slightly. So all of a sudden, your exit velocity goes from 90 to 95. And that 5 miles per hour added onto your exit velocity adds, 10 fucking feet to your fucking ball?
He needs more than 10 feet, though. That's what I'm saying. He's been so bad. He's not doing, like, what the fuck, dude?
I'm, you know.
The only other,
I'd like to see.
The way I see it playing out is he goes over for the rest of the season. And because that's the only way to balance out the heat that has been passing through St. Louis lately. It's just it doesn't make sense. I cannot make sense of it. And I
can't either.
Rumbly. It doesn't make sense. When you sit down and talk about all the true hard factual data, if I've said anything that's not true or not factual, please let me know so I can redact whatever I've said tonight. Or retract whatever I said tonight. But as it stands, all we're doing is talking about what we know. And yes, my opinion is that he shouldn't be able to perform this well after having 6 years of not, he's never been this dominant ever. I can't even put it into words. I can't make an argument. If you just take 6 years off and then show back up one day and oh, yep, I'm as good as I've ever been. Granted, he hasn't taken 6 years off, but yeah, he has. He hasn't been Albert Pujols in a long time.
His barrel percentage is 11.8.
What does that mean?
2015, 7.7, 16, 9.2, 5.4, 6.2, 5.8, 5.5, 9.1, 11.8.
So right now, he can't miss the baseball, basically.
He's not missing.
When's the last time he had one that high, does it say? Or has he ever had one that high?
I don't think they have that.
data.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah, so that's exactly my point. That's exactly my point. He used to be the most ferocious dude. Like, oh my god, Pujols, not again. Walk him. Just walk him.
Yeah.
Just walk. I would intentionally walk prime Albert. I would intentionally walk rookie Albert. Albert Pujols hit what, like 40 home runs and knocked in 100 as a rookie. I mean, from the jump, Albert was on that ass, dude. Just killing everybody. If he put up the type of rookie year he put up in 2022, this hobby would fucking blow up like a nuclear reactor. Just,
Oh yeah.
It would be just next level. The hype boys on whatnot. Oh my god. The backyard losers. Holy shit, they would fucking, their heads would melt. And they're not even like, you know, that guy was just that, he was that dude. I believe that if that dude had any sort of second half of his, he's literally the most polar opposite of careers. The greatest, below average, and it's like pretty half and half. Like, he could have had a career 300 average. He doesn't have a career 300 average, right? He lost that years ago now, it seems like. And that was like one thing people were kind of sad about. They're like, oh, he's just continuing to play and he's going to lose his 300 average, because that's kind of a big deal, man. Especially the way baseball's headed. Now those guys who retired with above 300 averages look like even better. But I'm pretty sure he's well below 3 now. I don't know. I guess I'm done talking about it.
He's seeing less fastballs this year than he did last year.
Huh. Well, he's still turning on them pretty damn good.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, like really good. And the one thing, I've actually said this on a previous episode, so nobody can even call me a hater. I think Brett, I believe it was you, had asked how Albert was still even in the league, and I said that he was still hitting lefties. I don't remember what show that was, but I remember us having that conversation. And he was. His lefty-righty splits are pretty significant.
Yeah, they were talking about the possibility of him coming back next year as a strictly left-hand, to bat against lefties.
I would have no problem with that. I don't think, if he wants to play still, he's, what was it? He's hitting like 275 or something against lefties, or it was maybe even way better than that, actually. So he could still do it. But it's clearly lefty-righty split, and I understand that too. I'm not Albert Pujols, but I always love to face the opposite hand. I'm a right-handed batter. I love facing lefties. I don't have data, but I felt like I had a lot more success against them. Period. I saw everything better. The ball breaks to you. Most pitches break to you rather than away from you. So it's cool. I liked it. I preferred it. And if he could do that at a higher level than someone else, why not? But he doubled down on he's done. He doubled down. I'm done. Now they're like, shit, we got to get some more lefties out there to throw fastballs that we're not throwing him. Are lefties throwing him more? Is he getting a higher lefty fastball rate than any? Like, how crazy do you want to get with the data? Because I could, if we had like a dude to do stats for us, I could ask some crazy. We need like 10 interns. Because I could ask you some crazy questions. That's why I don't get into data, because the things I want to know are not like readily available. You have to like do some math to figure it out on your own. And then I'm like, because you take that of that fastball percentage, how many of those are from left-handed pitchers and right-handed pitchers? Who's throwing him more breaking balls? What's he doing at day games versus night games? Is his fucking vision holding up under the lights, or is it bad during the day? You start talking about 42, you could take every variable into account for the performance. Is fucking 10 o'clock too old for him, or like too late for him? Is he tired?
So they have a meatball percentage on Baseball Savant.
Okay.
They have Pujols meatball percentage at 7.0. 7.6 last year, 7.2 the year before, 7.0, 6.9, 6.9, 6.5, 6.4. But like his meatball swing percent, I like the big thing. It just looks like.
Well, it doesn't like meatballs need not apply after that ball last night. That's the luckiest swing ever if he didn't know a fastball was coming. If you know that pitch is coming, you still miss it a lot, I bet. Because you're not even used to nobody swings up that high. I mean, that's almost like a tomahawk swing, like a legitimate tomahawk swing. Such a high pitch. And even if the catcher was like, "Hey, fastball up," like you still probably swing underneath it. I don't know. I don't know. That's why it's like it's not about grooving them pitches. Like, I don't know. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. It makes me feel like I'm crazy for even talking about it. Because like I said, nobody wants to talk about it. But I don't feel that it's unreasonable to talk about. And if he's, if nothing's going on, which I don't believe that. I'm pretty sure I don't believe that. That's fantastic. But I need another human in human history that we can make the same type of... I need another guy that said, yeah, I did it. And then I don't think what is happening or what happened has ever been done in the history of sports. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. What else do we have tonight, friends? What else?
I don't have a ton tonight.
We did about half hour on Pujols. We talked about eBay for a good bit. That's good. That's good podcast stuff.
Top's Finest flashbacks came out.
Yeah,
that check looks awesome.
I didn't get to look at it because when one of you guys sent that to me, I was working with the consignment stuff. So
has all the big boy rookie
everybody's
cards
in it. Oh, Bobby Witt. How Bobby Witt is sneaking his way into a fantastic year. Like,
dude, he's so fast.
I believe he's hitting 250 with 16 or 17 home runs and like 24 stolen bases. Like, he's doing it, and he started
just hit another home run.
There you go.
Yeah, he hit one tonight.
He's having a really good year. Like, he's just continued to do what a guy of that caliber you hope he does. You hope that guy continues to get better all year.
I just didn't realize how fast he was. I mean, he's scorching fast.
And is Julio playing?
He still isn't playing yet.
No, he's playing tonight.
Is he?
Yep, he got an at bat already. But he is at 19 homers and 23 stolen bases at a 273. So it could get interesting before it's over. And I really thought that Julio was already won this thing. Bobby Witt is right there.
I don't think I think they'll hold his his on base percentage and stuff against him.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just see. They could continue to, Bobby has gotten better all year long. So if he has a monstrous September, it could improve, and if Julio slips it, I'm not saying I think Bobby's going to win. I'm just saying it is all of a sudden much closer than I thought it ever was going to be. And that's good. That's exciting. It's something to watch, man. The young stars, 22 and 21. I mean, they're young rookies. They're not 25-year-old college kids.
Yeah, maybe Chrome blaster boxes at $42 aren't that bad of a deal now.
Probably not.
Best Buy had them $42 a piece pre-order. That's crazy, man.
That is crazy.
I'm not buying them at $42. I'll tell you that right now.
That's probably what they're gonna be. Are the hobby boxes still insane in pre-order price?
I think they're still crazy.
Yeah, I haven't looked. I don't even want to.
I don't either. White Sox lost again.
They fucking suck.
That's kind of what they do. And they lost to the Orioles, which is great. I want the Orioles to win.
Dude, the Orioles are creeping into fucking position to fight for a wild card spot.
It's amazing. Are they? They should be in one, are they?
No, Seattle's still in.
Oh, I got you.
Toronto, they're creeping up on Toronto. So Toronto's got 65 wins. Baltimore has. Does Baltimore have 63 or 64 after tonight?
64.
Yeah, so they're
They're 2
right
games
there.
out. Yeah, they're 2 games out.
So I mean, it's gonna get interesting. The Orioles, like, you feel. What did they even make a move at the trade deadline?
They traded Trey Mancini and their closer Jorge Lopez.
Yeah,
And they're
like,
still winning.
oh my gosh.
They traded Mancini, and I am friends with a few Orioles fans, and they were fine with the trade. They're like, we know we'll get something for him. You know, we'll get some value out of him. He wasn't having a great year. He wasn't doing terrible. He wasn't doing great. So it's not like it's killing him that he's not there. It gives the next man up an opportunity, and they got something for him. And I don't remember what they got for their closer, but I had Jorge Lopez in fantasy. They traded him to the Twins, and he's been a stud all year long.
They had Mancini just DHing.
I don't know. I don't know what they were doing with him.
They've had Mountcastle at first, right?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't say I watch a ton of games. I do have Mountcastle in fantasy too, but he's got multiple position eligibility.
Okay. Who they have playing where tonight?
He homered tonight too. 3-run shot.
I had to pull up the Orioles pitching staff just now because I've watched probably the least amount of baseball this year than I have. I didn't play fantasy baseball this year. I can't even name a Orioles starting pitcher here. Like that, I'm like, I had to pull it up. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
It's funny. They had Kevin Gossman last year, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, he's gone. And I don't know. It's just really who the hell did they have start tonight? Just some random guy. 3-1, 4.86 ERA. Beat the fucking White Sox because the White Sox suck. You think, like, before the game, they're like, hey, you know what? Go out in the stands and give us a starting pitcher. We're playing the White Sox. We got this one.
Find us a guy that can't hit that the White Sox can't hit. Oh, we got just a guy.
Can he throw it 60 feet 6 inches over the plate? We'll be all right. We're playing the White Sox. No worries. Oh God, I mean, it's gotta be. You gotta feel really fucking bad as a White Sox fan. You know, the expectations were so high.
No, you don't. No. Oh, I mean, for them, sure. Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
But I feel nothing but joy because they were supposed to be so great. And, they're not. They're just not.
It's crazy. I'm just looking at the Orioles here.
Underperformed in every single department. And it's hilarious for me to watch, especially with my Cubs going through it.
Trey Mancini was the leading batting average guy for the fucking Orioles.
Hell
He'd still be leading the team.
The White Sox are negative 33 on run differential this year. That's just brutal.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
The Orioles are plus 13.
Squeaking them out. Yeah, the Yankees are plus 188, and everyone's freaking out in New York. They've won 3 games in a row. What are they all mad about?
It's like, come on.
Didn't I say that?
Deep.
I already said that when we talked about Aaron Judge. We were talking about. I'm like, for how hot they are. I said the Yankees are gonna go through a cold stretch, and everybody's gonna. I guarantee you, I said that. I'm pretty sure we did.
The 2016 Cubs, we watched it. You
Right.
know,
Mine.
it just happens.
Every team does it, especially even the best team. Even the best team is gonna have a bad week or two where they're just gonna shit the bed. It happens. Relax. Snap out of it. At least you're not negative 209 in the run differential like the Nationals.
Dude, did you see the Dodgers? My God. Plus 260.
Damn. I know, and they're losing pitchers left and right, though.
They've only allowed 382 runs this year. It's crazy.
Right, but it's gonna be really interesting when you get to the playoffs. I don't know, man. I don't know. Who did the Braves got? Have they hurt? Have any of their starters went down? Like they're starting pitching?
Who? I'm sorry.
The Atlanta
Braves.
Braves.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
They got a really good shot at fucking repeating.
Oh, sure. No doubt about it. They're gangsters with how they're signing all these guys, man.
But like their pitching staff is dude, you got Jake Odorizzi as the fit number 5 guy. I'd say they're in pretty good fucking shape.
Pav, what are you doing on Thursday?
I don't know.
It's my birthday. You want to go to a Cubs game?
Happy birthday.
Is it a day game?
It is.
Oh man.
It is.
He's like,
120.
oh, man.
Cubs Cardinals.
Oh man.
We'll talk about it after the show.
Yeah.
It just dawned on me. I'm like, maybe I'll just take the day off Thursday and go to the game. I haven't been all year.
I like the fucking Braves' chances, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
They might have the best fucking starting rotation going into the playoffs when they get there. Just depending on how everybody's rotation ends up.
Yeah.
Like you got they got Strider. Is he going to be that same guy going into the playoffs? That'll be their big question, you know.
Just I don't know how if he's gonna have arm fatigue or anything, but he's that guy. I really believe Strider's the real deal. He's phenomenal. I was fucking fantastic. Any good word that starts with a F, that's that guy.
Dude, they got their rotation is fucking killing it this year. When you think about Charlie Morton is like the fucking low man on the totem pole, he's 6-5 with a 3.99 ERA,
Yeah,
but he has 164 strikeouts, dude.
But he's the old man. He's the veteran presence. That's a fantastic guy to have.
He's still striking guys out.
Right.
He has 164 strikeouts and 135 innings.
He's got really good breaking stuff when he locates it.
Dude, I mean, it's pretty... They're going to be pretty fucking tough, dude. Kenley Jensen, don't you think he wants to fucking carve up the Dodgers? But, man, he has trouble.
Yeah.
That'd be a good storyline. Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
You turn around and you got, that'd be a good storyline.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad.
I just don't want to see the Dodgers win.
Dude, it's frustrating, man. The Cubs could have spent the money and signed some dudes, but nope.
I mean, here's my biggest issue with the Cubs is they said they wanted to compete while they retooled.
Yeah,
and you have to spend money to do that. They complain, like, we don't want to spend the money if we're not here, not that. They're like 15th in salary in one of the biggest cities in the country with one of the biggest fan bases in all of baseball. We're not a fucking Oakland Athletics fucking feeder franchise. Goddamn Chicago Cubs. Like, have a little pride in it. And I mean, they continue to say they acknowledge that they haven't done what they had hoped the team would do this year. But when you thought Frank the Stank was gonna fucking do what he did last year again, you're playing yourself. Just absolutely playing yourself. So to not shore up a position like first base with a guy that can hit 20 home runs and not, do better than 200 at the plate. And it's just those guys aren't expensive. So to not even do something like that, to be like, no, we believe in the 30-year-old rookie we have. Really? You don't want to go find anyone that has the experience. You just send up that team has it has Wilson. And Hendricks, but Wilson wants to be the leader, but I don't know. They're not giving them the guys to lead.
Let's face it, man. Yankees, best record in baseball with the Dodgers, 2 highest paid rosters. Mets, highest paid roster.
Yeah.
Those 3 teams are dominating their divisions. And, I mean, money talks, bullshit walks. Cubs could have signed some guys. I mean, I'm not even asking you to outspend them. Just give me some guys.
Yeah, no, they 100%. They could have signed some guys. I know you can't buy every guy, in a year like this, and I understand
No.
that. But you could get a few guys. Like they did get Stroman and they got Suzuki. I'll give them that. They did.
I'm probably one of the only people that's like on the total other side of this.
No, I mean I like.
I don't mind not spending money, especially like with what was available. Again, like for like the pitching that you could have bought.
Oh, I wouldn't have bought much pitching. I would have signed Syndergaard though for whatever the fuck he signed for, 10 mil. Yes.
Yeah, like even like a
because you
Correa
could trade
deal.
him like they did. They just traded him.
Right. I get it. They tried with Smiley and Miley, and obviously they're not Syndergaard. But you win some, you lose some on that kind of shit. So you gotta take the good with the bad on that stuff, because we've had our good luck with that stuff before, and we did really good with David Robertson and fucking Givens and that. So we did good in the relief part of that. But I mean, the thing for me that the thing now is like, you got to question now, okay, was the Stroman deal worth the money that you spent? Was the Suzuki deal worth the money that you spent?
Because the team's not worth a fuck.
Well, I'm just saying though. So like with it's really tough because they didn't have. When you look at those other teams, they were bringing up young talent that was, doing well. Whereas we didn't have that young talent that we were bringing up that was doing well at that point anymore. And we just had a bunch of old veterans that were failing us. So I don't know. I'm not, it's like this year, everybody wants them to spend money, but until I've been looking at the free agent list, we'll see where it goes. And like you said, you want them to sign Correa?
I don't want them to. I don't.
Well, motherfucker, what do you want? So
not long term.
That's not true. The only person I suggested here was a 1-year type of guy. Where
if you
find yourself in the race to compete, then you keep him, and if you don't, then you can move.
I'm saying though, like you sign Correa and you sign a couple of guys. Maybe you are a 500 team, but you're just a fucking 500 team.
That's all you need to do while you're retooling, though. You should be a 500 team at minimum.
Point of being 500?
What's the point of being 14 games under 500?
You're the same as the 500 teams. You're going home at the end of the year.
I gotta be 500 or better.
They don't need to be 500 to sell.
They do need to be 500.
So
I can't listen to this. I want to lose conversation.
No, because you wouldn't feel the same way if they were calling more guys up. If they were calling
to win the game.
Yeah, you play to win the last game of the year because it's the only one that matters.
Yeah, so in order to get there, you got to be at least 500. So you got to get me to 500. I ain't never getting there like this.
I mean, you could have been the White Sox. You could have been. There's plenty of fucking teams that like you could have been the Tigers. You could have been.
I would rather be the White Sox than the Cubs right now because the White Sox just need a better manager. But it's not the White Sox manager or the players. This fucking training staff. Like they fired Ricky Renteria, get fucking the drunk guy in there, and he's falling asleep. He's letting the fans call in fucking pinch hitters. I mean, the inmates are running the asylum on the south side. That's the problem right now. Holy shit.
For me, like until obviously, so like. If you were the Cubs now, who on that team is a building block?
Well, I still say you sign Wilson because he's 30, and you should be competitive in 2 years. This should not be a long thing, especially with the talent coming up.
But do you think Wilson's not going to take a 2-year extension?
No, he should get at least 5 years. I think you pay him.
So like it. Even though
I wouldn't be sad if Happ isn't a guy because he lost all his power when he learned how to stop striking out, but he still strikes out and he doesn't hit 300. So he's not bringing a ton of production, and now he's less.
Is better than Wilson's.
He's less, yeah, but he's less valuable in the lineup and on the field now that he's basically only a left fielder. He used to be able to touch second, play a little center field. Now you got Morel. Morel, sign Morel. Morel needs a Braves-type contract. He needs a 10-year fucking $50 million deal or whatever it's going to take, because they gave one of those to David Bodie, but it was a cheap one. It was like 6 and 25 or something. David Bodie's been awful.
No,
he had some grand slams.
They gave one to Jorge Soler, remember? They did the same thing with him, gave him 10 years. But you'd like to
get Morel.
You'd like to see building blocks, like actual guys that you can say, okay, this is a centerpiece. But they don't really have that, and that's what's scary for them. Like
Suzuki's that guy, or you hope he's that guy.
You fucking hope. You just spent money. That's what I'm saying. It's difficult because I don't know if they spend money. I don't know how much better they're gonna. They could end up being a team that's 70 and 92 if they spend money. They win fucking 12 more games. That guy those couple pieces brings them 12 more wins.
Oh yeah, I want him. I want every win we can get.
I would like to see. I would definitely like to see next year a lot more rookie guys coming up, guys that are actual prospects, and
I will say
we start to see that.
I'll say I love the Fran Mil Reyes reclamation project.
Dude, that was a fucking dude.
I can't believe the Guardians cut him. I can't believe that. He's the most surprising designated for assignment player in the last 5 years to me. To see him get cut, that's way more surprising to me than to see like Dallas Keuchel get cut.
I think he's definitely on the team next year.
100%. He's still arbitration eligible. I believe he comes with team control. I don't know if.
What was he making?
Probably millions.
4.5.
Yeah, he'll probably get 6-7 million next year, but pay him. He's worth it.
Maybe his numbers don't justify that.
Sure, right? He could win. The Cubs could actually win a case being cheap on him, but show him some good faith. Holy fuck, he's only like 27 or 28. You could get 5 good years out of him, and we need a guy.
He just turned 27.
He is 5th on the team in hard hit balls, but he doesn't have the same type of playing time as all of those other guys. But he has more hard hit balls than Suzuki or Morel, Schwindel or Ortega. So I mean, he's out there. He's hitting the ball hard this year. He just went through a rough stretch.
Yeah, I would say that he's definitely going to be on the team next year.
He has the hardest average exit velo on the team. Harder than Wisdom. I mean, the guy hits the ball hard. How do you cut a guy who hits the ball hard?
It's going to be a bummer because really they're going to get into a situation where if they sign a couple guys next year and all of a sudden they bring up Canario and he's doing well.
And you got a logjam.
And Reyes does well.
That's why you move Hap.
Well, that's somebody's going to, that someone
you move Hap, you acquire some major league pitching. The
pitching is Steele's been really good.
Yeah, you hope you can develop him, but you could trade Hap. You could get big league starter for him.
Have you seen Justin Steele's numbers?
They've been phenomenal. Yeah, I picked him up in fantasy and kept him. I'm not getting rid of him. He's earned it.
I fucking bet.
He's been terrific.
I wonder what he just figured something out. It's like one of those things where all of a sudden something just clicked. But he's 4-7 with a 3.25.
He's given up 2 earned runs in his last 5 starts. I mean, he's been terrific. He hasn't had a bad start since June 23rd.
He's definitely got to get his whip down.
He's had 2 bad starts all year. He gave up 4 more runs only 3 times all year.
Okay, so first half, he had 17 games started with a 1.409 whip.
Yeah, his whip is very high.
And in the second half, 6 games started, 1.181. So you really like to see him. His walks are obviously fucking. He had 37 walks in 82 innings to 9 walks in 31 innings. So I think that's obviously we get to see all these prospects and what they're doing, and that's a big problem with all of our starting pitching prospects is that they just throw too many fucking walks, and you can't throw walks like, especially Major League Baseball and the game that they play now, where it's fucking draw walks and hit the ball over the fence, and
Yeah.
that's fucking game that's how they play the game now.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
you're gonna have a bad day if you throw a lot of fucking walks.
Yep. I agree. You're not going to get any arguments from me, but I do want to switch the subject here. My man Brett.
What's up, bro?
Super disc golf Brett.
Lots of drama this week, dude.
There is something going on in the disc golf world. So if you're not down with disc golf, I got 2 words for you. Good night.
So much drama, man.
Yeah, what's going on? So give the people some backstory about what there's an event going on in a town, and then I'll just let you tell us the story.
So the European Open was going on about a month ago, and Nico LaCastro, who's a really good player, has been known to throw some outbursts here and there. There's this stupid rule in PGA competition that you have to throw your shot within 30 seconds. And he didn't throw a shot, and the official called on him, and he blew up, got in the official's face, said a few choice words, and they suspended Nico LaCastro for 9 months.
Wow.
Which is crazy. And then, like, literally a couple nights later, that's when Tim Anderson was getting in the umpire's face and got suspended for 2 games. So I laughed at that. But then August 22nd, which was yesterday, Discmania is one of the really they're a big disc golf company selling discs. And the owner, UC Maresma, was he put out a statement. I'm going to read it. It says, an unfortunate action has been taken by UC Maresma as an individual in Sweden. In May, UC's actions do not reflect our company's values. So it's basically his company. They're reading these values. They don't support this criminal activity. Because UC's actions do not represent our organization core values, UC will be taking an extended leave of absence to focus on his family and his well-being. He's taken full responsibility for his actions. He was convicted in Swedish court, and then to go on later, he put out another statement.
What did he do?
He purchased sexual relations.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So
I didn't mean to jump the gun here.
So he purchased sexual relations, and there was a meme. I'm going to send you guys this meme.
I got to see the meme. Absolutely.
It's these companies do mystery boxes.
Yeah.
And
the dick and I already saw it.
So that one.
It says something like Discmania's mystery box be like, and there's a fucking dick in a box.
So then today or Monday as well, but I just saw the news today. The PGA Disc Golf World Championships, which is like the Masters of disc golf, is coming up. Not this weekend, but next Tuesday through Saturday in Emporia, Kansas. And allegedly, the top female disc golfer did something to get kicked off. So this disc golf course is at the Emporia Country Club. It's on a regular golf course. They use it. And again, this is all allegedly. I don't know for fact, but supposedly it was closed, and she went in there and was playing and had a cart. And that's about all the info. But in the statement, I don't have the statement in front of me.
Yeah.
Basically, the police were called. She got out of there, and there was an article. They took it down. But talk about some drama within the sport. I mean, she's a top player. I mean,
so I don't. I don't know how the PDGA operates, but I would assume that. I mean, they wouldn't do anything to her. It would
I'm guessing
like
on this one.
If the place says she can't play there, then that's her. That's her own fault. So if they say, hey, you're no longer allowed to be here, and the the PDGA is not going to move the event for one person. Tough shit. You got to sit it out. Maybe you shouldn't break rules. I guess I don't know. I don't want to be that asshole, but if that's what it is, that's what it is. If that's the story, I mean, nobody knows the story. Like that's why I wanted to hear about it from you, because everything I saw going on in Twitter and the feed and whatnot, I'm like, I don't. It seems like a whole lot of nothing. I read that article, nothing. It says nothing other than
it does say nothing.
she was there. I thought it was like somebody beat her up or she got assaulted or like I had no idea at all.
Yeah, I thought maybe she cursed out an employee or who knows,
something.
you know.
She was just there and she wasn't supposed to be there. I mean, who cares?
Hey man, I've snuck onto a golf course before too, but it is what it is.
Right.
But yeah, the disc golf, if you're looking for some action, man, the Worlds is coming up.
What was last weekend?
Was the Des Moines Challenge, and talk about an awesome playoff, 4-hole playoff. Simon Lizotte and some other kid came out of nowhere.
What was the week before that? Was there something the week before that?
Trying to think where they were at the week before. If that was them, maybe. Oh, they were at the Ledgestone Insurance Open in Peoria, Illinois. I usually go down for that and work that one, but I started school.
My buddies got like an Airbnb and went and like I guess they played there too, but not in like the like professional shit. So they like caddied for each other on opposite. I mean, a whole bunch of them, like a whole party of like 8 to 10 people.
Dude, that event is so monstrous. So they run the Pro Tour event, which was like there's the pros and the pro women. But then on the side of it, they run another event that with all the courses in Peoria. And there was almost 2,000 amateurs that are playing in that event. It's the biggest disc golf attendance-wise as a tournament anywhere in the world. I mean, you're looking at 2,200 players total within that area.
Yeah,
I mean
crazy.
that's a Gridley and a Chinoa added together. Those are 2 towns in Central Illinois that are basically moved over to Peoria. Pav would know. He's got the small town life going on now.
I'm like, holy, what the fuck is that guy talking about over there?
1,200 people in one town and another 1,000 in another. But
yep, Pav lives in like an actual like square block. Like if you look it up on a map, it's like it's like
a blip.
Yeah. The streets only go 2 ways. North and south and east and west. That's it. There's no roundabouts. There's
no
yield
do you
signs.
Have a golf cart? You got a golf cart or like a side-by-side?
They all got golf carts down there. Hell, even my town has a golf cart. Or like Hobart's a city. You're allowed to drive a golf cart here. It has to be inspected by the police once a year for safety, make sure it has turn signals and all that shit. And it's not allowed to go on any... It can only be on city roads, and it has to be a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit or less. So, like, you're not supposed to cross, like, any highways, which makes it virtually impossible, but people still do. So, I mean, I can't believe nobody's got splattered, like, trying to cross one of the 55ers.
I cross Route 41 all the time.
I crossed it with you the first time I went down to the village. Went over there to Strasse's.
I think to myself, like...
And then his old lady almost came out with the shotgun or some shit.
Oh, no.
She said something about she had the shotgun or whatever. Because I was like, we went to go get Eric, and he wasn't there. Anyway.
That's awesome.
This is my first village experience, you know? Like, I like these people. They're feisty. Get off my lawn.
Dang, I just watched a podcast today. I can't remember the guy's name. Dan B, but I don't know. He's a comedian. He's been really hot in social media recently. Dan, what is the guy's name? You guys, I just don't remember. But he I guess got into disc golf hardcore recently.
Yeah, all right.
I just can't remember the guy's name. I guarantee if somebody watching will comment later on if they're watching this late. Dan B. I just can't remember his name.
Yeah. Kenny Rogers would know.
That's all.
I mean, he was on Rogan not too long ago. Just can't remember his name.
Oh, thanks. Dave Mustain was on Rogan today.
I saw that too.
I haven't had the time to watch it yet, but I have to.
I saw 2 short clips of that. It was good.
I have to. I don't watch a lot of Rogan, but When there's somebody on there that interests me, then I'll watch it. Like fuck yeah, I mean I don't know. It's whenever I have time, really time permitting, I guess. I'm down here in the zone all day. Just like you guys message me, I click around. I'm like, all right, then I go do all this other stuff.
It's down in the cave.
Yeah, pretty much. Get out of the dungeon. I set the air conditioner so cold so that I gotta go upstairs. Go outside because it's hot out there. Go out there and warm up for a little bit. Take my breaks out there. Get a little vitamin D. I have like a window you can't even escape out of down here. So somebody could just walk by and throw like a little tear gas in there. Suck. Couldn't get out. Oh, this is terrible. Oh man, what else though? I think this was a pretty good show, man. What did we started off with? The eBay. Then we went into Pujols and disc golf. What did we do before disc golf? Hell
Pujols.
Yeah.
Pujols.
Yeah.
Cardinals.
So
White Sox sucking.
Oh, we were talking about baseball.
Inserted some Cubs stuff in there.
Yeah, the Cubs. We were talking about.
We got to talk Cubs.
Got to. I think. I would love to get a complaint. You guys didn't talk about the fucking minor leagues at all. I didn't hear not one Matt Mervis reference that whole episode. Well, there it is, folks.
Stud.
The people want Mervis.
Not.
Card people that say they're Cubs fans, they talk about whoever the trendy, most expensive Bowman card is. Like, no, I want that Matt Mervis. Like,
is that shit shooting up now?
No, he doesn't have a card, I don't believe. You know what I mean? But, like, that's the prospect I want to see. When you're talking about the Cubs, everybody's like, oh, when's Christian Hernandez getting to the big leagues? Or when's Ed Howard getting to the big leagues? Will
he have a rookie card before he has a fucking Bowman card?
No, because he's not going to get up this year.
Next year he'll get up, though, don't you think?
I'd hope so. I'd hope he gets a fair shot out of spring training to make the club. Sign a veteran, tell him a minor league deal or whatever as a stopgap. Because you don't need that position for long because you have help between him or Bryce Ball. Well, you got to think one of those guys. And really, if you're not going to trade Wisdom, you could keep him as a bench power bat. He plays enough defense, and he's. I want to assume, and I don't want to assume, but it seems like without looking at his fielding percentage or any of his defensive numbers, Wisdom's played very well defensively this year. Oh yeah. Maybe not. Maybe not, actually. 12 errors. So then, yeah, it doesn't...
I think he's a good player to have around. I like him. He's one of the guys I like.
Yeah.
Play a couple positions, hit some bombs.
I don't mind him. He just strikes out too much. He doesn't hit enough bombs to strike out as much as he strikes out, is I think what I'm trying to say. You got to hit more. You got to be a 40 home run type of guy if you're going to strike out 154 times. Okay, so here we go. Last year, okay, this is like perfect. Yeah, he's having a way worse year than last year. So last year he played 106 games. He hit 231 in 338 at bats. He had 28 home runs, 61 RBIs, 153 strikeouts. This year, in 114 games, he's hitting 219 with a 314. He has a higher on-base percentage this year, but his slugging is down to 444. It was 518 last year. His OPS is 758. It was 823 last year. He has more at-bats. He has less home runs. He only has 22 home runs. And he struck out more times. But it is in about 60 more at-bats. So he has cut down his strikeouts from last year, but he's lost power in the process.
His OPS is 65 points lower.
Yeah, he's lost. He needs that power. So he hasn't cut down the strikeouts enough to where I'm wanting to see him lose that power.
He's leading the National League in strikeouts.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But I mean, when he hits, I thought he would hit 30 home runs for us this year, but really, he was a 40 home run type of candidate. To hit 28 and 338 at bats is something to be excited about. But keep striking out if you're going to stop hitting home runs. Please. I'd rather have that 3 true outcome guy than kind of what we're getting out of him. Because it's boom or bust with him, like a 3 true outcome guy, but you never know when you're getting the boom. It's mostly bust. you got to put the ball in play or hit home. Yeah, you just got to. So many good things happen when you put the ball in play. Less good things happen in the big leagues. Less fortunate bounces and things like that, but they still happen all the time. Got to put it in play. What else do we got? Anything?
I got nothing.
No.
I'm hungry. I'll be honest. I'm just hungry right now. That's all. My stomach is rumbling.
Yeah, I've been back to school, so I'm going to bed here in a minute.
Yeah. It's bedtime for me too. I gotta get the kids off to school. So yeah, folks, that'll do it. Tell us what you think about Pujols. We're not saying anything. Well, actually, we all said something. I'm officially not saying anything, even though I said something. So I said something.
We've all said that we feel that there's something fishy going on.
Yeah.
What it is, up to anybody.
What it is and how it's happening, no, none of us know. But I guess we'd need 3 diehard Cardinals fans in here to try and honestly, in fairness, let 3 diehard Cardinals fans come in just so we could say those same exact things about all the numbers and just have them justify it. How do you explain that? Because maybe that's what we need, an explanation. So when you hear this, I know we got plenty of Cardinal fan listeners, so we're going to hear something for this. I know.
Maybe he stopped having sex.
Yeah, that's it.
Pent up aggression.
And Chuck Liddell used to fuck porn stars in his hotel room minutes before he would go defend his light heavyweight championship in a fucking blood sport. So yeah, that's what's doing it for him.
You remember that Seinfeld episode where George stopped having sex? And he's out there, Derek Jeter and them are watching him, and he's fucking hitting them over the fence.
Yeah,
he's like crack.
I looked that card up again. The 2021 National Treasures Jason Alexander relic. They're still $1,000, dude. I want one so badly. I just can't spend that money. I can't justify it other than it's just cool. Like I'm not saying it's necessary. I don't think that's the type of card that's going to increase in value. You know, people might just forget about the show altogether, and then what? Then what do you do? So, you got like a fucking.
No one will ever forget about that show. Given the current climate of our political correctness, I think shows like that will become, they'll go on forever and ever. They can't do. It's like Blazing Saddles, right? Everybody knows Blazing Saddles, even though like everything that's referenced in it is so beyond, it's so old now. But it's just they can't do that anymore. You can't do Blazing Saddles anymore.
Right. Can't even do Tropic Thunder anymore.
Right. You couldn't do Tropic Thunder anymore. Exactly. So, like, I think stuff like that, it'll stand the test of time just because it'll always...
Or like White Chicks. I don't think you could do White Chicks anymore either. Somebody would get upset. Someone.
Dude, you couldn't... I mean, when you think about, like, the media from the past, right, and books and stuff, like, Mark Twain would be... a racist bigot and all these things, if his books were coming out today. So
yeah,
but I think people
Dr.
realize
Seuss, right? They shut Dr. Seuss down for something.
So
some of it,
yeah, I
don't know all
it's
the
pretty
details.
interesting, but yeah, I got a couple of the books that they'll never print again.
That's because you're just
Canceled.
a terrible human being. Hashtag Flipper Pav. What's up? Oh yeah, we talked about Flipper Pav too tonight, folks. And with that, I think we're out. Have a great day. Have a great evening. Have a great tomorrow. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
A bunch of jamokes.